Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are today at the second episode of QTrix International, brought to you by ILMA University in collaboration with Rotary District International 3271, powered by ILMA Group of Companies. Hi, this is Fawwad. I am Director Quality Assurance and Global Partnerships, ILMA University, and with me is my co-host.
Hi, this is Sajida and Deputy Director Quality Assurance and Liaison, ILMA University.
Today we are very privileged and honored that we have with us one of the most powerful ladies of the world. She was born in Congo, and in a short span of time she struggled and she moved to Scotland. And now she is the first black rector of the University of Edinburgh. And the credit goes to all the efforts that she has made in the life, and she has set a legacy for all the black people out there in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deborah Kiambe, Rector at the University of Edinburgh. Hi Deborah, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hello.
Really pleased to meet you in person this time.
How are you?
I'm fine.
And you're looking great as usual.
Thank you so much.
So we always see you so fresh, so energized, so active, despite I understand you have a lot of pressures,
Yeah.
a lot of political pressures, a lot of academic pressures, because you are heading one of the top universities of the world. So how do you manage yourself and how do you keep yourself so motivated?
I think the motivation is the legacy that you said, the legacy of peace and justice. This was the first answer I gave the day I was elected as rector. What do you want to give to the University of Edinburgh and the world? I want to bring a legacy of peace and justice. And these legacies are not easy. They are difficult legacies where everyone wants you to be in their sides. But I always say, my whole life I've been the voice of the voiceless. And as rector, I will always be the voice of the voiceless. So the legacy keep me going.
That's great. That's awesome. You're always an inspiring person for all of us, and you are truly fascinating. So,
Alright. So Deborah, my question is, having political pressure is again one bigger challenge for you. And being a rector is the most difficult part. But being a representative of black people around there, how do you manage such pressure, and how do you face being the black rector of Edinburgh?
Black people have suffered for centuries. We survived slave trade. In America, we survived John Crow time. We survived apartheid in South Africa. We survived genocides all over Africa. Do you know Central Africa, the Great Lake of Africa, how many people got killed there for their own lands? So black people has gone through years of struggle as black people, and systematically they've been put as underworld people. You see somebody, oh, it's black, there's nothing between it, there's nothing between it. So what I did is to tell the whole world that's a lie.
Yeah, exactly. And
You tell the whole world that's a lie. Do you know how many people be happy to hear that? That's the challenge of being a black woman. First as a woman, first black, and to be in this position. While you're telling people we are all born equal. Give me the chance and I'll show you what I can do.
Oh,
Simple as that.
and you did wonders.
Well, wonders. It's always been. I think in my role as a rector, if I don't have test, nobody will know how strong I am. So test is always welcome in my role as a rector. From anybody, from anyone, from all political stand, test is important. Then there are people who realize, oh, this woman, you don't play with her. We're not going to do that twice again. We did once and not twice, and that's how it goes.
So Deborah, before moving to the further questions, how do you start your day? Like, what is the day of rector of the University of Edinburgh? How does she passes her day?
As I said to you the first time we met, every single morning I pray. Because there's always someone superior to me, and that is God. And whoever God is that morning, whether it's Jesus or Allah, I pray Him. I beg Him to keep me humble, and I beg Him to give me the merit to fight for the truth until my last breath. That is my praying every single day. Then when I'm up, my priority is to make sure my children spend a good night and they're getting ready to go to school when I'm going back now to my emails. Because since the pandemic, we do most of our work on computer and email. So I avoid going to the university almost every day physically to avoid the contamination with COVID because it's still very much around us in Scotland. Then it goes. So I run the university business, I run the most powerful organ of the university, and I run the things that I believe that are close to my heart: peace, justice, human rights, equality, diversity, and inclusion.
So Deborah, being the rector of the university, it's a £2 billion annual budget university. So you have to see the financial side of the university, you have to manage the other strategic areas of the university, you have to manage the faculty, you have to manage the teaching and learning environment of the university, and on top of it you have to manage the racism, diversity, inclusion. These are the issues and challenges that you have to see. So what do you see as the most difficult part being the rector of the University of Edinburgh?
I must add, she's also heading and dealing with the refugees of Edinburgh.
I think one of the things that I brought in university is humanity, and that is the biggest difficult part at this university. The University of Edinburgh is a very what we call devolved university. So I don't need to deal with all the finance every day. What I deal is when I sit in the university court, I make sure that all the voices that are represented on the university court is here.
Okay.
And clarity, openness
Okay.
about the way things have been run in the university goes clearly.
Okay.
And if something is not clear, I will have to say, okay, we need clarification here.
Okay.
So that is where I am. But the most difficult thing is to humanize the whole system.
Right.
Because it's a making machine institution.
Yeah.
It makes, last year I made £35 million in surplus. So it's a making machine. And then you have people walking. What I'm trying to do, okay, we walk, but remember, we are human.
Yeah.
So the most difficult part for me right now is a bit of humanism on what we're doing.
Okay.
Being a bit human, being caring. This is a university who has 168 different nationality of students. As you mentioned, racism is still very much there.
Yes.
Isolation is still very much there. And these are things that exist in our society. It doesn't exist only at university. So my role is to make sure that we stay as human as much as we can through respect. We need to respect each other. And I always say on my speech every year, new academic year, you will learn to respect each other. Because if you don't do that, you find me on your way. Respect is the key.
And I think this is the key for everyone out there in the world. If you want to be successful, you have to respect every human being. You have to serve the humanity. Money is not the everything, but you have to contribute. The objective of your life is to live for others. So this is what is the key success factor of the Deborah campaign.
Okay. So Deborah, as you are, being one-on-one with the students of Edinburgh, and you are dealing with the Association of Edinburgh Students, right?
Yes.
So student diversity and inclusiveness is a primary area that
For
is
me,
being affected,
yes, it's been
right?
part of my tenure, yes.
Yes. So what are the Scottish policies to tackle these issues related to the students, diversification?
It's only 2 years ago, remember, only 2 years ago, before my election as rector of the university, I petitioned in Parliament to make an inclusive education that respects the value of each people and their background. We have a problem in Scotland.
Okay.
We're still far away from the place that we have policies that are protecting all the children in the classroom. We're still far away. I had an incident with my own child. She went through it. She went through counseling to survive that. She spent 10 days at home, not going to school at all after that. How hard it is for a child, But the thing is, we do not need to have this kind of experience in our place of education.
Yes.
Okay? So I have the same problem in Edinburgh University, particularly with the LGBTQ community. Some teachers in the class still don't adjust this kind of student, and they say things about the student that are unacceptable. So as rector, I will not tolerate that. I will be always 0% tolerance of this kind of behavior. So Scotland is a place of making at the moment. is trying to make his own story, he's trying to make his own stand. And I think it's a good thing that many people who champion equality and diversity are pushing with the local government, because it's a devolved matter for Scotland to bring policies that include everyone. But we are not there. No, we are not there. We're still fighting.
So I think students around the globe have felt that they are also facing problems in terms of finances. The Scottish government is also not, providing funds to the students from last 5 years. Is there any sort of issue came across to your?
I've had very bad time, very difficult time with the Ukrainian refugees. You remember when the war in Ukraine was started, the whole world was, oh, Ukraine, come here. Now I begin to receive email from Ukrainian students writing to me to say, we've been here, we can't pay our study, you made promises, we can stay. And then I try to look at my service and ask questions. They say to us, no, we have given them what we can, but what is missing is what the Scottish government could have given them.
Yes,
but remember this, many predicted that post-COVID would put an end to this economy. Post-COVID era will put the economy as we know it now will end. So many institutions now are very careful about putting money on something because things are crashing around us. And I don't know why people don't realize how bad it is. I know we predicted that, and it's been clear. COVID, it will change the way of living of people. COVID, it will change, it will break our economy. The way we know it is not going to be the same. But we forgot about the worst one, climate.
Yes, exactly.
I watched the image in Pakistan about the flood. I just couldn't. And I went to a meeting that afternoon talking to the Royal Society of Art, which I am a fellow. And I said, listen, we're talking about money. Did anyone have a plan to help the people in Pakistan?
Kind of you. At least you thought of it.
The thing is, we're still very selfish in this planet, but this is not the time of selfishness. It's time of selflessness. That means that we forgot about ourselves. We look around us. We support each other. I keep telling people in the UK, okay, let's say you are in the UK and boom, a climate emergency comes. You want to go to Africa. Okay, Ebola is waiting for you.
Right.
Cholera is waiting for you. Why did you not prepare Africa for it to get in case you have problem here? Then who's going to look after the other person when chaos comes to us? A chaos that no one can control. The vaccine issue, the vaccine apartheid issue with COVID. Some can get the vaccine, some cannot get the vaccine. I mean, this world is still pretty much egoist. And leaders like us in place of education, who has both political stand and education stand, we have the obligation to remind humanity to all people around the world.
So Deborah, you were born in Congo. So how was the journey there? What was the struggle story, and what made you to migrate to Scotland and to serve the humanity and the students through this university and institution?
I mean, the Congo was a peaceful country for 35 years under Mobutu, although it was a dictatorship, a violent dictatorship. After him, a new president came, the country collapsed in chaos. And then we had an issue with our neighboring country, which is Rwanda. So we fought. We had an open war where there was a lot of killings at that time. So at the time then, I was a young lawyer, and I went to investigate a crime that was committed in East Congo. Which crime that I'd seen in one night, 576 women and babies was buried alive.
Oh my God.
So at that point, I almost managed to identify who did that. So my life then was in danger. So I have to leave because of my report. So it was just reporting something that no one knew, but it was the first time it came to light. So I left, and then I came to the UK. When I came to the UK, I claimed political asylum, and I was granted political asylum on ground of human rights activism.
So what made Deborah Kiambe so brave? That she went there, she investigated, and
she fought for herself.
I'm guessing bravery is something that is in you, it's your gene. It's in you, it's your gene. When I look at the stories of my grandparents, what they've done to survive colonialism, the Second World War, I'm guessing it's something that passes into you and goes and goes. But again, it became profound when I went reading about others, fight around the world. And the fact that I was conscious already in the Congo being a black person was a problem around the world. You know, although I was in Congo, it was my country, nothing could happen to me. But I knew if I lived here in Singleton, I'm a black person, so I am a problem. You know, that's something I have conscience of that. Many people need to be conscious of what the standards are. You know, if you don't have consciousness to that, you're not going to be successful. And then don't waste your time in this world. I mean, life is too short. Concentrate on things that can make a difference on people's lives. At the time you leave this world, if 1,000 people said she was bad, 10,000 will come and say she was good.
Right. Exactly. And
That's how it is. Yeah.
That's right, you cannot make everyone happy, but
No.
it's your inner feeling.
Yeah.
If you are satisfied,
Yeah.
you have achieved what you wanted.
Yeah, but you cannot make even the goodest people in the world.
Yes, true.
Even Nelson Mandela had people insulting him
Yes.
after he was after he spent 27 years in prison.
Yeah.
They were still saying bad things about him. You know, I don't expect people to say anything good for me. I don't even, you know, I don't even care about that. What I care is to make a difference where I am right now.
Right.
And to see more people who are suffering, people who have no voices, their voices which is where there is a decision, so they can consider the situation. The rest I don't care.
So, how do you feel being the academic celebrity? Because paparazzis are everywhere, and
The camera
we are in
following you.
and we are in Turkey right now, and we are trying to escape from the paparazzi because they are after Deborah Kyambe and they want to hear why Deborah is there and what is the recent situation there.
Well,
So, how do you feel being the academic celebrity?
yeah,
And
it's a pressure. Yeah, not only in Turkey, even in Scotland. You know,
Oh, yeah.
there are places that I just avoid going because that's Deborah Kyambe. You know.
yes.
But the thing is, you know, I have to learn to maintain public life, public posture. But I'm guessing from the way I was brought up, I was brought up very, very humble. So I avoid crowded place. I would always go places that there's less people. And if anyone wants to meet me, I'll say, can you meet in a place that we're hiding?
right.
So I avoid place where it will be, oh, that's Deborah Kyambe. I avoid that.
So, Deborah, as Deborah Kyambe,
Yeah.
we know one Deborah Kyambe who is so much powerful and dealing with a lot of people and refugees, dealing with the students and their parents and their issues. This is the one Deborah that we know.
Yeah.
Which one Deborah is before her kids?
Oh.
How kids take Deborah Kyambe
Oh.
as their mother?
My children, they are my special advisors. But my children, they have a thing about me. And they keep saying that their father ran away because I was too powerful for my father. You know, just, I say that's not what's happening. But the thing is, my children knows who I am for them. I am their first friend. Because there is nothing teenage child, like both my children, because I both on teenage year, they cannot hide anything from me. Even how bad it is. Mom, we know you're going to be mad, but we have to tell you this. So the trust I have built with these children is my greatest achievement.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I thank God because I did it at the year I was not known to the public, so I built that trust where it was just me as a mom with them. And now that I have less and time for them, you know, I almost know where they are right now and what they're doing right now.
So did they ever being treated like they are the Deborah Kyambe's children, or they were treated along like?
I avoid that.
Ah.
I avoid my children to be in the end of people who treat them because they are Deborah Kyambe children. So I don't want my children to go through that. But the truth is, I am so powerful right now
Yes.
that it's hard for people not to treat them as Deborah Kyambe children.
Ah.
So when they go to school, they know who the mother is. They know who she is. And the school try to do that, but because they know even the mother does not want special treatments,
Yes.
so they're just careful on the way. But they do. Oh yeah, they know that. That's the rector children. Yes, they know. Yeah.
Deborah, you have spent your life and you are still struggling to get the rights for the minorities and the
Yes.
black people and the refugees. And
And
yes,
as you said, the refugees issue, people insult refugees all over the world. I don't know why. And when you stand for the refugee, you as bad as the refugees.
True. True.
These are people supposed to be compassionate about. You know, did the Iraqis start the war in their lands? No, it wasn't the Iraqi. It's the Syrians started the war in their land. It wasn't the Syrian. When you stand for the refugee, you as bad as the refugees.
True. True.
These are people supposed to be compassionate about. You know, did the Iraqis start the war in their lands? No, it wasn't the Iraqi. It's the Syrians started the war in their land. It wasn't the Syrian.
Right.
They faced a war that they just even chose. Now, they goes to places. I met an Iranian young man today.
In the university.
Yeah, and he told me, how do you survive? Deborah, I had too much of this. Too much of this. How do you survive these times of lows? How do you survive? I have too much. And I have to advise him. You know, don't look at these people as saying negative things to you. Forget about them. Straight. Look at your target. Because people are always saying things about people. They'll say them and then they'll feel ashamed. When the person progress and progress and progress, what they did, in the end, they are the bad person because nothing happened to me. And you continue. And that's it.
And that's practically.
I remember before becoming writer, when I launched the Freedom War campaign, there were white people writing to me, saying to me, if you're not happy in Scotland, go to your country.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah, publicly. If you're not happy, then go back to your country. What are you doing here? See how bad this was? They're telling you like this, go back to your country. But can they say that again today? Can they say that today to me? No, they don't want to say. Now they're the bad people because I still contributed to the society far better than them. You know? Yeah.
But Deborah, you are now one of the most powerful person in UK and rector of such big university. But still, I think you must be facing racism and discrimination.
Still,
even you may be the victim of this many times.
Yes, I've been. Yeah, and even in my role.
Even being within your role.
Yes.
So how you manage this trouble and these issues?
I think first you need to be conscious that it's not everybody that embraces you.
Okay.
You know, and then this business of racism is a mean business. People plays on people's minds to put you down. You know, when a racist email comes to me, you know what I do?
That's perfect. That's perfect.
And then I get junk mail. It's not gonna come back again. And that's
I like that. I really like that.
You know, and that's what you need to do. Because what can I do? It can change Edinburgh University overnight. No.
True.
The first step is that a giant step is done into humanity. A place where no one of a minority sat in the chair. You know that red golden robe of mine. You know, no black person ever wear it. You know,
that's a beautiful story.
Yeah, and I'm wearing it. You know, that is something. For those who think that the world is only made white and white and white, I'm giving them headache and cardiac arrest. You know, but I didn't want that. I won it by election. You know, if it was something that's stored in the cupboard, it's a different thing. I came in front of you and I said, I'm candidate. Who can challenge me? Nobody. Who can try? Nobody. Okay, you director. Thank you. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very interesting story comes into my mind as Deborah mentioned. When Deborah was wearing the robe for the first time, it doesn't have the pocket. So Deborah tried to look for the pocket. And so, Deborah, can you share the story? What happened that time?
and that's a really lovely
Yes.
story.
So, the road master, we were queuing for a meeting, was take 3 hours, 4 hours, and the children was between class and going to the home, and they have to stop somewhere before going home. So I said, I put the car on and said, I never noticed this. There's no pocket here. And I look at the road master, why there's no pocket here? I need my phone to speak to my children. Oh, Madam Kayembe, this robe is for a white man for centuries. And I keep looking at him talking. And I said, but I'm a woman. I need a pocket to put my phone so I can speak to my children. Just petition to the court and then I'll be okay.
Oh my goodness.
Because you can change that easily. It's you know, these are robes. You see the year printed in the back of 1856. You know.
So you managed to get the pocket or not?
No, not yet. I have to petition.
That's a very long process.
It's probably going to be a long process or maybe a short process, but you know, the problem the University of Edinburgh is a
But I've
conservative
never-
university,
Yeah.
so
But
they
I've-
want to keep the things as it is. So, but I had another check from that. I was watching the Chancellor, Princess Anne, and I said, well, the Chancellor comes here sometime. I don't think they tell her not to bring a phone with her. And I realized she has a handbag. And the Queen has the same handbag. It doesn't have a car, but just a
Yeah.
small handbag.
Yeah.
And I said, I found the solution. I'll get a handbag from her.
So it's quite challenging and interesting. And Deborah, your university has continuously improving its international rankings. And this year, Times Higher Education has improved your rankings as well. And you are in the race of getting to one of the top positions of the world. So what is the secret? What is the main priority area, or what is the main focus of the university that is making you increase the rankings of the university?
It's EDI. Believe me, EDI, equality, diversity, and inclusion.
Wow.
That's the key.
Wow.
When I became rector of ILMA University, university was 20th in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was still in that position for almost 6 years.
Yes.
It never went up. It never went down.
Right.
So at the time of my election, we came immediately from 20 to 16th in the world.
Congratulations to
The
that.
year after.
Wow.
So 16 in the world. And last year we become 15.
Yes.
Even I had a political hang in April this year. And the university was scared. They said, oh, Deborah, this political war you just created recently. I said, let's watch and see.
Ah.
It's 15. I told them, have you ever been 15 in the world? I'm doing a good job. Let's move on. Simple as that.
That means Deborah Kiambe has made 2 records. First is that she is the first black rector of the university, and
Yes.
second, she made the rankings to improve
Yes.
during her
15.
tenure.
Yeah.
That is very nice.
Yeah.
And it's been around 2 years on the position.
Almost 2 years.
So-
Imagine that ranking from 20th to the 15th. And then they were talking about that. And when that crisis, that crisis was in April, and they keep telling me, the principal, they said, we've never been this good 60 years. And I said, am I doing a bad job, do you think? No, Deborah, forget about that. Let's move on.
So Deborah, being at such a big position, do you do your SWOT analysis? What are your strengths? What are your current weaknesses? What are the opportunities that you see? And what threats you see in your professional career?
Opportunity, there is a lot of opportunity. And not to count DRC, my own country. The Congo want me back. The Congo want me to return to the country. Congolese are asking for me to return
Wow.
almost every day. Do you want to be prime minister? We can give you that. Yes.
They must be proud of you.
The thing is, this is my first international test.
Right.
I will go to the end of this tenure.
Mm.
Ah.
Yeah, I will go to the end of this tenure. That's something for me it's important to achieve. Because if I do not achieve this properly, they might not trust another person.
True.
That will be good.
Very right.
You know what I mean?
Very
So
right.
that's why I'm doing this, and I need to get to the end of this. But if there is a very good pay, very good money before the end, but next year is going to be my last year. But anything happen next year, I'm going to leave this and go to that one because
Right.
I almost finished, and something better shows up. A lot of opportunity are coming, but the difficulty for me is really mental,
Okay.
because you want to help people, but you don't control all the department, all the services.
True.
Someone can come with the child issue and then explain the issue and they tell the services, do this, and he doesn't respond to that. Mentally, I am affected. Because whether student or staff or parent, they trust me to deliver.
True.
But there are things that are just not in our control. We can't control it, particularly in this economical downturn time, in these difficult times. We cannot respond to all, and that makes my mental health a bit difficult.
Okay.
And for that, I get support mentally, through counseling. And the other thing is, meeting new people. It's quite something.
Right.
Since that I'm meeting new people almost every day, and it's quite difficult for someone who has been very in the background, very careful about meeting people. That was my life as an
Sure.
activist. Keeping the same friends all the time. But meeting new people for me has been a bit. But again, sometimes you find great people like you, and
You.
sometimes you find
Honored. Thank you.
and sometimes you find difficult people.
True.
But I do not underestimate people who are coming to my way.
Okay.
I treat them as the same. I give them the same opportunity. It is for them to use it positively. If I find some negativity,
that's
I will walk away.
Ah.
Simple as that.
True.
Yeah.
That's
And you welcome with your open heart to everyone.
Yeah, yes,
I've
absolutely.
observed that.
Yeah.
So you are in Turkey right now
Yeah.
for some Global University Colloquial. So what is that, and how was the session?
I never had a colloquium before,
Okay.
so it was something new. And the colloquium was quite rich on giving to the students the personal side
Yes.
of our journey, whether it's academic or private. And it was really good, you know, and I never attended the colloquium. It was the first time. And I'm quite happy, and it has too many presents. I have to buy an extra box for the presents. This is how all colloquial is supposed to take place. I'll go to more colloquial then.
But we managed to save you from paparazzis. But literally speaking, today during the colloquium, students were running after Honorable Rector like paparazzi. So wherever Rector was going, the students were behind, and we have to pull Rector out for her session. So how did you feel, students following you?
You know, at ILMA University, I'm always among the students. You know, I am, I can tell you himself, I am a very approachable rector. And I went to Spain. I had almost the paparazzi things, but here it was a bit too much. And
They were quite excited to
they were just
be in the
curious.
picture with you and listen to you. They were quite impressed by your story as well.
I'm guessing the positive things in our life is not because we have lived. It's what difference we have made in people's lives.
Yes.
You know,
True.
and I always say that, you know, whatever things goes in my life, I am proud for having inspired not only the minority, but the white, black, brown, whatever you call them, all people from all backgrounds. I inspire their lives, and that's a good life.
That is.
You don't need money for that. You just need to be human. That's
Right.
all. Yeah.
So how many students are studying at Edinburgh from Congo?
It's a very small number. The Africans in the ILMA University are in very small number.
Okay.
Because we only have the Mastercard Foundation and the Chevening Scholarship that cover the Africans. So when you put the charter of the population at Edinburgh Uni, the African, they don't show.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't show.
Okay.
So it's an effort that I am doing now as rector to encourage more African to apply. But again, then comes the gap in between the way of education of these African countries and Edinburgh University, which is an excellence of education. So the gap is quite big. What I am proud of to have achieved is to make these people believe they can do it. If they want to study at Edinburgh University, they can try. You try the first time, the second, maybe the third, you get lucky and you get there. Because this education cannot be only exclusive to white born people.
True.
You know, it has to be available to anyone who has the capacity to go through the process.
So do you offer scholarships other than Chevening scholarships to the students across
Yes,
the
the
globe?
university.
There are Chevening and Commonwealth both, right?
Other
Yeah.
than that, your university offers, for example, merit-based scholarships, need-based scholarships.
But Edinburgh University is still very much in segregation at that level.
Okay.
For the Africans, they have to go to Mastercard or go to Chevening. That is controlled by the embassy for every country in the world.
Okay.
So far. And what I was trying to make understand the management of the university, that this is, you have parents who can afford to pay those fees. Why just restrict this African student to those scholarships?
True.
It's not fair. So it's something that I am pushing to open the door to any student around the world who has the means to pay
Right.
to get to the class. The most important thing is you pay your fees and the education is there. This is the discrimination we're talking about. You discriminate the student, you discriminate the population. That should stop. Not in this day and age, we're still discriminating people. That is not right.
So Deborah, how many alumni you have at Edinburgh since day one, since the first convocation? Generally speaking, how it must be in hundreds and thousands of numbers.
It's the oldest university of the Scotland, right?
Yes, the oldest is St. Andrews, and after St. Andrews is Edinburgh.
And
Yeah.
who are the top alumni? Who are the famous alumni? You can name few of them.
The Prime Minister Churchill, Winston Churchill, was rector of Edinburgh University.
Wow.
The Prime Minister Gordon Brown was rector of Edinburgh University. the Prime Minister Tony Blair was student at the university.
Alumni.
Yes, we have very, very famous alumni. I don't want to go to politicians, but I want to go to those who have changed the world to science and research.
Yes.
And you have thousands of them, you know.
And the researcher Granville is also alumni of your
Yes,
university.
yeah.
And has any alumni received a Nobel Prize from your university? Any person from?
The only person who received a Nobel Prize from is Malala.
Oh,
Malala
she
was
received okay.
Yeah, she
and
has
she
a
is your
doctorate.
graduate.
Yeah, she has honoris doctorate at
Wow.
Edinburgh Uni. Yes, that's the only. But I think until now, Edinburgh University has not brought any Nobel Prize winner yet. So let's say.
So how do you feel a Pakistani from an underprivileged area coming to that position?
I mean,
and getting-
Pakistani are very bright students. I have a young Pakistani man who is a staff member and was recently, for many years, tried to have the university adopted the definition of Islamophobia. So that way of treating the Muslim badly and to challenge that to court. And since I became rector, he had really my support and strength. And finally, we adopted that definition. So no staff, no student at Boeing should be mistreated. That young Pakistani man, is called Umar Malik. Really, really bright young man. And Pakistani University, but it's true. They face racism of being terrorists, for free. You accuse them being terrorists for free. That's not the way. That's not the way. But I'm very proud to have them in my community because they're making positive contribution in the university. They're just hard worker than any other nationality at the University of Edinburgh.
Right.
I don't want to make difference between my students. They're all my students, they're all my staff, they elected me to represent them, and I will do that for everybody.
Right, true.
Alright. So Deborah, looking at the collaborations and internationalization. For internationalization, collaboration is the only solution, right?
And yes,
And how do you see that the developed countries has achieved that benchmark reaching in the terms of collaborations?
you need to be careful. Institutions like in Edinburgh University, St Andrews Universities, these are ancient universities of Edinburgh, and the way they have been seen to the world are very different. You have a student who study in America, Harvard University, but Harvard is not good enough. They just need to come to Edinburgh to have that thing of them because of the prestigious side of Edinburgh University. These are universities who have created the link of collaboration that dates for centuries, and they don't want to change that. What I'm advising for younger university, no, I'm not saying that you are less important or less intelligent, because in younger university is to be consistent on continuing by existing first, and then trying to get your ranking better and better by looking the condition that the ranking has. Then those universities who are on the top will look down to you. They will look at on the ranking, for example, did you cover what is your score on EDI? Or what is your score on management? What is your score on governance? That decide of this big university to come to you, but this university is not going to come to you. They will stick with their original or traditional partner because that made them strong, and they won't leave that. So collaboration is really something that it takes quite some time for a university to trust you are coming to it. And you need to start with small things, no big things, small things that build
the trust.
build the trust, and one day you get the chance to have. So it doesn't come just like this. No, not a university like Edinburgh. It doesn't
Right,
work like that.
So, coming on a lighter side, Sajida has some questions that will explore your insight. As this is the legacy of the QTrix International and QTrix Pakistan.
Okay. So embarrassed questions again.
Over to Sajida.
Alright. So the very first interesting question is that we already asked you back a month, as you are with us and you are far away from your kids. I asked that question previously, but I'm asking again.
Okay.
When was the last time you lied to your children?
Oh, since that day, I don't want to lie to them again. I didn't lie to them recently, no.
And what color do you like to wear?
Blue. Blue is my favorite color.
We couldn't manage to see that color in a Turkey trip, but we would love to see you
Yeah, yeah.
in our next meeting.
Yeah.
All right. What do you do in your free time? What is your hobby? What do you like?
I
to do
watch
the
war
most?
movies. So when I watch a movie, it's a war. It's a war. Bam, 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 bam. I watch mafia movie.
What was the last movie you watched?
I'm watching the series right now, which is a Turkish series
Okay.
called Souls.
Okay.
The Promise is a young man who's going to the army, and it's a journey with his personal loss for choosing to serve his country and serve the country. It's a beautiful TV series. I watch it at the moment.
And what book are you reading? Because as you said,
I'm
you've been
reading 2
traveling
books
a lot.
right now. The first one is Homelands. It's the story of a Jewish refugee who settled in Glasgow, and the writer Dina Narari, and she wrote about ungrateful refugee, the ungrateful refugee.
So you're interested into the refugees. And
But no, because
studying
next
stories.
month we have a festival at ILMA University, a book festival at Global University, and I'm going to be sharing the session with the 2 authors. So
Okay.
that's why I'm reading these 2 books at the moment
Wow.
to prepare the session next month.
Okay.
So, what do you see in your children? Would you like them to be like Deborah Kiambi, or you want someone else to be?
Something is true, they'll never be like me.
Ah.
So that's for certain.
Why so? Because you've been helping people around the world, and you are so kind, and you.
No,
you
but
are-
for them, I am a role model for them. I am an example for them. There is no doubt about that. But they have their own feelings.
Hmm.
My daughter, she's working to become an expressive artist.
Ah.
Yeah, and she said she's gonna be making movies about the struggle of people around
Wow.
the world, about equality and diversity. She wants to be acting and telling the stories of people who fought for freedom. They got this element of me, but in a different way of
That's
presenting
what I
it.
was saying.
Well, my son is a robotic engineering, so he wants to create a system to protect the whole nation against dangerous people. So their commitment of serving the others, probably they got that from me. But whether they're going to be lawyers, I don't think they're going to be lawyers.
Wow. So, Deborah, you have always been an advocate for internationalization. You encourage students' mobility, you encourage Pakistani students, African students to go to different parts of the world
Yes.
and explore their careers, get their higher education. You always promote that and you always support them. Now, today's colloquium, the Global Universities Colloquium 2022, it was organized by ILMA University Pakistan and Global University Turkey. And ladies and gentlemen, we are sitting in Turkey. And we are really thankful to Deborah Kiambi because she accepted our invitation in a very short span of time. And despite your hectic schedule, I understand your schedule.
Yeah.
She had different commitments. She flew all the way from Scotland to Turkey, attended this conference. You also played an advisory role for us.
Yeah.
Because generally, Deborah, what happens is that no Pakistani university, I guess, has managed to organize such an event at international level. Generally, people go to other countries, attend the conferences, and come back, get the certificates. But a Pakistani university organizing such event with an international university, making efforts to bring the strongest people of the world like you in front. So, how do you feel for us being a Pakistani university taking this step and aligning this colloquium?
I am proud of the vision that you have. You are visionary. That's something that many people don't have. People usually stick to standards, but you have a vision, and that vision you have impressed me by that. Many people will say, okay, she's the director of a big institution. Maybe if we don't invite her, she will never come. No. You read in me and you said she will come because it's about this, because she's passionate about it. So that is about being visionary.
True.
So that is something that I have to give to you. So continue doing what you're doing, because you never know the door you knock, you might be bringing something else.
True. That's very inspiring, and you have really motivated us. And thank you for all the support.
Yeah.
So, any message you would like to give to the people of Turkey and Pakistan?
First, for those in Pakistan, I am really sorry about the difficulty you have going through recently with the flood. But Not that this is not going to be the only flood you're going to face, more flood will come. Just learn to be human, learn to be kind. That's the strength you have to survive those unprecedented situations we're facing right now. And really, if I could, with a magic wand, I could get that.
Oh,
God.
that's so lovely of you.
Really, I pray for you, and I pray that you get strength. I pray for your government. Our government always responding to us. It's not only over Pakistan, it's all over the world. You know, things are getting tougher for everyone. But if we can stick to be human enough, you know, that will make us better. For the Turkish, thank you for your hospitality.
That's great.
Thank you for your too much presents and too much food. And I really hope that this country is going to find some good direction, because there are some worrying news that I have heard since I arrived, and the people I met. It's worrying.
Oh.
But I want people to get strength and courage to the example of others, and to stick together, because tough times are ahead of us.
Yes.
Thank you.
True.
Thank you very much.
True.
Thank you.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Deborah, for being with us. It is always lovely to listen to you, the courageous stories,
Yes.
the excitement part of yours and your official part. So, ladies and gentlemen, we would not to end this session, but due to the time, we need to end this.
Yes.
And it was lovely having you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. And here ends the second international episode of Q-Tricks. And we'll meet you soon, inshallah, with another personality like Deborah. And see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye. Bye.